back. We have internet. Although it looks like I'm at the gym, I am not actually at the gym. Yep, a little late in the day on Sunday, but it is what it is. We're back. So let's go over some next week's workouts. What we're looking at, what we would like to accomplish, and some ideas, suggestions, that and the other. Not waste too much of your time. So Monday, January 12th, we got 5x2 hang squat clean plus 2 push jerks. All right, do 5 sets, 2 reps of that complex, and that will be building weight based on how we're feeling and how our technique is looking. One of our goals is to improve our squat clean and jerk. So we do that weekly for a while. All right, and then we're gonna finish with 2 sets of 20 barbell upright rows. Happens to be one of my favorite exercises in the bodybuilding space. It is a great accessory lift for Olympic weightlifting, although there are many accessory lifts for Olympic weightlifting. We are going to do the upright row for 2 high volume sets. And then we got a little Metcon, build, we got bike, welded warrior, we got rowing. Faye's gonna be mad. We got the same meters on Monday. Looks like it's my one time in the week I get to maybe shine a little bit because we get to share the same meters. Side note, sorry about that. Yeah, so we got bike or row, then we got some hang power cleans and jump rope. Simple, dirty, quick. Notes on these hang weights, you should be able to cycle some decent sets, especially with 10-minute time cap. So weight choice should be able to do sets of 5, in my mind. Then double unders. Well, if you would like to get better at them, it takes 10,000 successful reps, just so you know. We'll have in the warm-up, which you can't see right here, but some double under practice, and yeah. I've done a double under seminar in the past. Although I can share good tips and tricks on getting double unders, getting them comes down to repetitive practice. That's what it is. So if you do struggle with single unders, well, if you're really good at double unders, you might struggle at single unders now, but double unders and double under efficiency is practice. But if you got questions, talk to your coach, talk to me. It is something that I do know a little bit about, so happy to help there. Next day, Tuesday the 13th, we got back squats for strength. We're going 75% across the board. So these aren't building sets. The goal is we're going to get up to our 75% and hit all 5 sets of 3 at 75%. And then we're gonna finish with one of my favorite accessory exercises for the hips, adductor deadlifts. Just 2 sets of 30. Needs to be treated not necessarily for load, but for mobility. Okay, and make these heavy if you have the mobility. If we don't have the mobility, let's not make them heavy. For this, we aren't dragging out benches. We're going to use the squat rack. So you'll drop the J cup down and you will do your adductor deadlifts. When you are done doing your adductor deadlifts, if you could do me a solid and put the J cup back up, it saves us a lot of time when we need to clean the gym floor. So don't leave them down low. If you put it back up at squat height, it does help save time when it comes to cleaning the gym floor. But we're going to use those J-cups to place our leg for those adductor deadlifts. And then we got a Metcon 60-minute AMRAP. We got some burpee box jumps, some wall balls, and some rest. 1 minute of rest. So with a built-in rest on there, you need to fight like hell to go unbroken on the wall balls. Burpee box jumps, well, you should go unbroken, but the wall balls, you got 24 reps for warrior. That's kind of that gray area where people kind of off. So apparently it's a 24-pound wall ball that you can see here. That's fake news. It is 20 pounds. So that was a typo. That was an error. The warrior weight is 20 pounds. All right. So don't be stressing about that. Sweat. We have skiing and lunge marathon. So yeah, we're gonna tear up them lungs. We're gonna get sweaty and we're gonna tear up that ass. All right, 35-minute time cap on that. I actually like that for work capacity, especially for this particular event that's coming up called High Rocks. It's a good workout for High Rocks. All right. If you're doing High Rocks and the sled push crushed your soul, maybe do the back squats. If you're doing High Rocks and the lunges crushed your soul, maybe do sweat. Just thoughts. There. All right. Wednesday, we got some skill work. Although this is skill work, this is strength work. Bar muscle ups and building, kipping pull-ups and improving our pull-ups, but ultimately helping those folks, and a lot of you, get your first bar muscle up. You might ask why. This is why we need to get first bar muscle up. Because what if you're being chased and you need to scale a fence and you don't have a bar muscle up, but your friend scales that fence, gets up and over, and you don't? You wish you had a bar muscle up, because then you could jump up, press out, hop the fence. All right, all fun and games aside. The reason that's one of the goals is over the years of coaching, when people get a bar muscle up for the first time, it's one of the most rewarding experiences for both members and coach. Being able to manipulate your own body in space is awesome. And it's a great feeling. And it keeps things exciting. And it's one of the best expressions of body weight strength. And if you will, because there is an athletic component to a kipping bar muscle up. Bar muscle ups, raw strength. Kipping bar muscle up is both skill and strength. So we want to improve folks getting their first pull up, improving their pull ups, and or getting their first bar muscle ups, and or improving their work capacity on bar muscle ups. That is the focus here. So with this skill strength, we're going to be working on some strength work, and this will be repeated pretty consistently to continue to develop this, combining with our kip drills. In the warm-up that you can't see, there will be drills. And also within these realms on Wednesday, I'm going to have a couple things set up in the gym for skill development and or around the bar muscle up, where we strap a barbell a little bit lower and we work some drills there, right? So that'll be set up early in the morning on Wednesday. It'll flow throughout the entire day, all right? And build, we got EMOM, well, build welded warrior, we got EMOM. So we got some core work, we got some kettlebell swings, and we got some bike. Sounds like a real treat. And I love them GHD sit-ups. If you don't know this about me, I think GHD sit-ups is one of the greatest core exercises ever. Midline stability exercises ever, if you have the flexibility and spine health to do them. If you don't know this about me, I do have a few disc issues in my low back that I've managed to overcome over the years. And I can tell you that GHD sit-ups is one of the biggest tools besides the reverse hyper I use to keep my guts and core midline stability in check. So if you ever have questions on the old GHD sit-up, again, don't be scared to ask me or your coach. I love it. So even, don't get me wrong, welded has V-ups. That's the most humbling exercise in the world for CrossFitters. Gymnasts slay V-ups and have some of the strongest midlines in all sports. Doing high quality V-up reps should not be frowned upon, ever. They are great, okay? V-ups, GHD sit-ups, and good old ab mat sit-ups, also a great exercise. So they're all great. But if you've never done GHD sit-ups and you would like to do GHD sit-ups, what I'm getting at is today might be your day to tackle some warrior and give it a good old try. Again, talk to your coach, make sure you're doing them correctly, make sure you have the range of motion, and that you're not feeling compression in your low back when you're doing them. That's my words of caution right there. We don't want to go into full spine flexion and feeling compression. And that could be a position issue on the GHD. Being in the right position for your back to be in a healthy spot matters, okay? Theory, when you're doing the GHD correctly, your midline's not changing a lot. It becomes a hip flexor quad and a exercise combined with an isometric abdominal exercise through the range of motion. But what do I know? I've only been doing this a little bit. All right? But either way, great workouts across the board Wednesday. Of course I'm going to say they're great workouts. You know, my brother and I put all this stuff together for you. So of course they're great. Doesn't mean we don't screw up sometimes. I will say that. Come Thursday, we got some strength work, some thick Thursday kind of stuff. Ring dips, which I love, but we will have the regular dip bars out and variations for dips. I love dips, so that's all good. We're doing some good mornings, barbell good mornings, great accessory exercise. And then my favorite lower body exercise of all time, the Bulgarian split squat. Love that one. And some farmer carries, single arm farmer carries. So it's actually called a suitcase carry. Brains get whacked. So that's actually called a suitcase carry. So you're doing one arm, heavy ass weight. You're gonna carry 400 feet on each side, right? If you need to know, you should be able to carry 50% of your body weight for that. So if you weigh 200 pounds, you should be able to grab a 100-pound dumbbell and carry it in your left arm 400 feet, and then your right arm 400 feet. I actually think it's longer than that. But in theory, that should be a goal weight to be able to handle for that exercise, is around 50% of your body weight. 2 minutes rest, sweat. You're gonna get sweaty with 10 rounds of some single leg supported kettlebell RDLs. Why do I like supported? Because it takes the balance component out of it. Although balance is very important for our long-term health, when we are trying to isolate a muscle, in this case, the glute and the hamstring, adding a little support is going to help us get much more value out of the strength side of this exercise, not the proprioceptive side of this exercise. When it's supported, the goal is strength. We can load more, we can do the reps under more control and get more value out of it, right? Then we got legs, single arm presses. This is new for us. Basically, you're gonna hold a lunge and you're going to press single arm, 10 reps each side. You got air squats, mountain climbers, and Russian twists for that gut burn. Cool, good talk. Friday, power cleans, single reps. When we do power cleans for single reps, something I like to think about is the rep needs to be as fast and as explosive as possible. I will build up weight on these for as long as I'm maintaining my speed. Is going to shit and I'm starting to starfish and fighting to get under the bar, I've gone too heavy. The goal is speed, okay? Speed on these. If we're losing speed, it's the first thing to go as we age. So maintaining speed, although strength matters here, the stronger you are, the faster you can move in these lifts, but I will only be building weight for myself and coaching in the morning classes that we coach for speed, not necessarily total weight moved, okay? If you're building weight, the second speed kind of goes to shit, we back down, okay? We got 5 rounds for completion. These weights on the sled push are going to change. I have a cheat sheet at the gym that I don't have access to right now because I've converted kilos into weights, and then I got a scale out and I tried to figure out the differentiators between pulling on the turf versus pulling weight on the rubber. But basically we're going to pick a weight that is a challenging 50 feet, but you can do it unbroken. You're gonna be able to sled push 25 feet, turn around, push 25 feet back, and you'll be able to do that unbroken minus the turnaround, okay? It's challenging. And then 20 bear hug sandbag squats. So you'll pick up that sandbag, you'll squeeze it like your life depends on it, and you're going to squat it. Put this for completion because we only have, 5 or 6 sleds. And honestly, this is gonna be a gross little strength con. It's gonna be a little bit gross. I mean, you're gonna do 100 bear hug sandbag squats. That's not gonna be unbroken. You're gonna have to grind your way through this one, so there'll be time and space to be able to get your sled push in, rest, get some squats in, so forth. We're just gonna grind through this as a class. Deal? So no leaderboarding weirdness on this day, okay? No leaderboarding weirdness. Then Saturday, you got a good quote-unquote session, 2 15-minute AMRAPs, 500-meter ski or row, 20 push-ups, which I love to see, and single arm kettlebell or dumbbell hang snatches. Each side, 8 of those, and oblique V-ups. All good stuff. If you always shy away from the kettlebell snatch because it smashes your arm, that is a technique issue, and we can work on that, right? But if you just want to opt for the dumbbell, you're getting a very similar stimulus. Have fun with both. Both are gonna do great for you. That's why we put both options in there, all right? But if you want to master the kettlebell snatch, it is a skill, okay? It does require skill and technique. And if you want to go down that journey, we are happy to help you with that. All right, superstars, that's what we got this coming week. I think I went over it all. I think I did. And if you got questions, concerns, feel free to talk to your coach. Feel free to talk to me. And be happy to discuss those questions and concerns with you. Deal? All right. Peace, guys. Sorry for the poor video quality today. Had to run this off the camera on my laptop because we're not at the gym with the full setup. It is what it is. But anyway, love you guys. See ya.